Peace ladies, welcome back to the Modern Goddess channel. So in this video, I'm going to list out for you all 10 things that you may or may not be doing that you probably had no idea was making you more masculine. So there's no need for a long introduction. We're gonna get right into it, okay? Number one is when you are listening to too much rap music. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to it at all because I personally love me some 90s hip hop music and the early 2000s rap music. I love it. You can't stop me from listening to it. However, I always make sure I am balancing that out with some R&B music, with some soul music, neo soul, classic soul, music that makes me just want to dance, not like an overly sexual dancing, but just makes you know the feel good music. You know, when you are listening to a lot of rap music, especially today's music, like this trap music, it really encourages women to be manipulative. It encourages women to be overly independent. It encourages women to be hypersexual, and it teaches you that that's what it means to be feminine, but it isn't. It doesn't talk to you about what the feminine really embodies. And so all of that is definitely detrimental to your femininity if you're listening to mainly that, okay? So make sure you are balancing that out with some other feel-good music, okay? Now, I know a lot of people do not understand how music impacts your energy, but there is a reason why they put so much money into mainstream music, because it really does speak to our souls, okay? And everybody listens to music, and so if everybody listens to it and they can put some type of message in it, then they can get it to impact everybody. And if you're still not convinced by that, think about it like this. Children up until the age of 5 are like sponges. Whatever they learn during that time is really important, because that's going to help shape them and mold them for who they're going to be in the world, you know, in life, right? And during those ages, they learn mostly through song and music. And I know this because I used to teach preschoolers and kindergartners, okay? And so the reason why we teach them that, because we know that is what's going to stick with them, that's going to resonate with them. And that doesn't go away. As we get older, it still sticks with us. Music still resonates with us, okay? So make sure you are balancing that rap music out. Make sure you're not just in this type of energy all the time, you know. Make sure you're balancing it out with some good music that's going to make you feel more in your feminine, okay? Number 2 is when you masturbate too much. Now, I know the rose feels good, ladies. I'm not telling you to throw the rose away. I am saying that when you do it too much, you literally train your body to be overly independent. You train your body to only get to that climax, that orgasm, by your own hands. And so what you end up doing is you start losing the desire to have that connection with someone else, because it gets to the point where you only just care about the orgasm, okay? Feminine energy, mature feminine energy is sensual, and you care about the intimacy. You desire to have that human touch, okay? You desire the spiritual and emotional connection, okay? It's sensual. It's not just sexual, okay? And so when you get to the point where you're just pleasing yourself, you don't care if a man is pleasing you. You don't care if a man is satisfying you. You might get to the point where you can't even climax or orgasm with a man if you are doing it to yourself so much, okay? So you want to make sure you're not doing it too much. You don't want to make your body overly independent to where only you can make you do that. And you also don't want to get yourself to the point where you no longer care about the connection, because that is mature feminine, that connection, that intimacy, that sensuality. You don't want to lose that, okay? But you will if you masturbate too much. So you might want to cool it with that a little bit, okay? Number 3 is when you isolate yourself. Now, we live in a world today that encourages isolation. You see a bunch of memes all the time saying, oh, I don't care about nobody else, and you don't need nobody but you. You can't trust nobody but you. You can't depend on nobody but you. You don't need nobody but yourself. And, you know, but most of the time when people really live by that, they end up being very miserable. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend time alone. It is necessary to be in solitude sometimes so that you can really reflect, so that you can recharge and rejuvenate. Self-time and self-care is very necessary, ladies. However, when you get to the point when you are completely disconnected from everybody else, you start to again develop that overly independent state of mind. Like, I don't need nobody, I don't care about nobody but myself. That is not a feminine energy at all, okay? Mature feminine absolutely needs connections with other women. Being around other ladies absolutely helps you to be more in your feminine. So if you're one of those ladies that's like, oh, I don't get along with other women and I can't stand being around other females and stuff like that, you're gonna have to cut that out if you really truly want to evolve and grow on your feminine journey, because it is essential for you to make these connections with ladies if you want to be in your mature feminine. So isolating yourself, disconnecting yourself from everybody, trying to convince yourself that you don't need nobody, that you don't want friends, things like that, that causes you to be more in your masculine. Number 4, and I know that this one is probably going to confuse some of you, but if you do everything for yourself, by yourself, all the time, and you never allow yourself to be pampered or catered to or treated well, that can absolutely cause you to be in your masculine. So what do I mean by this? That means if you're the only one that does your hair, you never allow yourself to just go to the salon. If you're the only one that does your nails, you never go to the spa. If you're the only one that cooks, if you're the only one that cleans, you don't have any help. You know, all of that absolutely can drain you. It can burn you out and cause you to be in a very busy state where you're always doing and working. You never get time to relax and just enjoy the benefits of being a lady, of being in your feminine. This is why date nights are so important, because when you go on date nights, you get to be pampered, you get to be catered to, you get to be treated, okay? You don't have to cook, you don't have to clean on those nights. You know, you get to reap the benefits, like I said, of just being a feminine lady, okay? And so things like that are important every once in a while. If you're the only one that's doing everything all of the time, it absolutely makes you more masculine. So keep that in mind, ladies. Allow yourself to go to the spa, allow someone else to do your hair and nails, you know. And if you have children, make them help you clean up the house. If your child is old enough to pick up stuff and walk around with it, your child is old enough to help you in the home. You shouldn't be doing everything on your own all the time, because again, it can absolutely be detrimental to your femininity. Number 5 is when you spend too much time on social media, ladies. It is so important for you to take some breaks here and there from social media. Now, me personally, I have gone a whole year, I've gone 6 months, 3 months. When I break, okay? But I know that not everyone has the willpower to do that, okay? It can be tempting to be on social media, but taking mini breaks, that means like take 1, maybe 2 days out of the week where you decide you're just not going to spend time on social media. Now, how is spending too much time on social media detrimental to your femininity? A, it causes you to compare yourself to other people, which puts you in a very competitive mentality. B, it causes you to be argumentative, especially if you have a lot of controversy, a lot of divisive things on your page or on your timeline. You end up arguing with people, spending hours wasted debating with people about things that just are not even important. All of these things can really disturb your peace. It can cause you to take time away from self-care, time where you should be relaxing, time where you could be creating things, time that you could be connecting with the people around you, building chemistry and intimacy, being nurturing, doing all of these other things that are going to help you with your feminine, but you're spending time on social media being mad, arguing, being competitive, and all of these other things are just overly masculine and unnecessary, okay? So it is absolutely important to take little breaks from social media. Do not spend too much time. And another thing, when you get on social media, if you're the type of woman that posts a lot, like you post several times a day, you're just being very assertive and you're just throwing out your unwanted opinions and your unwanted advice, and you're just attacking people and you're being judgmental. You know, you need to take a break. Like just understand that everybody wants to hear what you have to say all the time. I'm not saying you shouldn't post. I'm not saying you shouldn't have an opinion, but if you're one of those women, if you are, and you're just constantly posting, like every hour you're posting something else, every hour you're judging something else, every hour you're critiquing something else, it's just like, take a break. Just take a break, okay? Number 6 is when you say yes to everything and you never say no to anything. What does this sound like? This sounds like, hey, can you do me a favor? Yes. Hey, can you run this errand for me? Yes. Hey, you want to hang out? Yes. Hey, you want to do this? Hey, can you do this for me? Yes. Hey, can I borrow this from you? Yes. And you're just saying yes to everything. And what this does, and though you might feel like you're being generous, you might feel like you're being kind-hearted, what you end up doing is you end up saying yes to a bunch of things that you wanted to say no to. You end up making commitments that you really did not want to make commitments to. And so you end up feeling obligated to do a bunch of things, and it's not out of desire. And when you get to the point where most of the things you do are out of obligation and not out of desire, you absolutely are way more in your masculine than you need to be. So you need to make sure if you don't want to do something, you're going to have to be okay with hurting some people's feelings, and they're just going to have to get over it. Everybody cannot always depend on you. If you're always that go-to person and everybody knows she's going to say yes if I ask her for this favor, if I ask her to run this errand, if I ask her if I can borrow this, if I need just somebody to just hang out with on this day because I'm just bored, and you don't like that person's energy, but you're going to say yes anyway because you don't want them to feel some type of way. Whatever it is, if people know they can come to you because you're that yes woman, you might feel like you're feminine, but again, it causes you to be very masculine. You stay busy, you stay making commitments you didn't want to commit to, you stay feeling obligated, and none of it benefits you. You're not getting any form of reciprocation from it. You're just giving and doing, and that caused you to be too far in your masculine, okay? So keep that in mind. Say no to things that don't feel right to you. It's okay. Number 7 is when you follow a strict daily routine. When you have your day planned to the T. Like, I'm gonna wake up at this time I'm gonna read, at this time I'm gonna work out, at this time I'm gonna talk on the phone, at this time I have a meeting, at this time I gotta go take the kids here, at this time I gotta do this. Like, everything. Like, you just have a very strict routine, and nothing is just flowing. Nothing is out of desire. Yet again, nothing is because it feels good to you. It just feels right at this moment. Nothing is spontaneous. Nothing is like that. It's just very strict rules and routine, and you feel like you're in the military and you're on somebody else's time all the time. You feel rushed. You don't ever get a time to just relax. You never get the time to really just be in your feminine and just enjoy the present moment because you're too busy thinking, okay, well, I only got a certain amount of time to do this because right after this, I got to do that. And then right after this, I got to do that. It doesn't help with your femininity. And I know that it sounds good, but that is good for men. That helps men. But when it comes to being a woman in your feminine, you cannot be on a strict routine like that. It does not do anything but make you more masculine. Number 8, not getting enough rest. So if you are staying up late and waking up early, if you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep for whatever reason, it absolutely is going to cause you to be more in your masculine, okay? When you're going through the day and you're grumpy, you're moody, you're tired, you don't have the energy, you don't really want to talk to anybody, you don't want to make connections, you don't have that carefree energy to where you just want to play and enjoy yourself and have fun. You don't want to do any of that because you don't get enough sleep, you're tired, you're grumpy, you're just not in the mood, okay? And so that can absolutely make you more masculine and get to the point where you're just like one of those people that's just sitting around watching everybody else having fun. All the ladies are giggling and enjoying themselves and enjoying life, and you're just like, looking like a little hater. And you might not be a hater, but because you don't have the energy, because you're not getting the rest, it causes you to be more in your masculine, okay? Number 9 kind of ties into number 8. And I know this one is going to confuse a lot of you also, but having an unhealthy diet and a lack of exercise in your life, okay? Now, when you have an unhealthy diet, this kind of ties into not getting enough rest. What it does is your body can burn up a lot of energy at night trying to digest your food because you're eating unhealthy foods. That takes a lot of time to digest, okay? So you're not getting enough rest at night, and then you're walking around all day with a bunch of mess, literally a bunch of mess sitting around in your stomach, okay? So you don't feel good. You don't have the energy. You're in a bad mood, okay? Not only that, but it impacts your physical appearance, and when you don't like the way you look, it can affect your confidence levels. And also, a feminine energy has a lot to do with how you're treated by other people. If everybody's mean to you all the time, it can cause you to be in a defense mode, okay? Put up walls and things, okay? Put up your guard. And if one of the reasons why people are mistreating you, I know y'all are not gonna like this, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. If one of the reasons why people are mistreating you is because of the way you look, because you're not taking care of your body, it's going to make you mad. It's going to make you resent people. And it's going to make you feel like that it's their fault, not your fault. And nobody should mistreat people for any reason at all. However, for the way society works, people will treat you better if you look better. And I know that is not nice. And I don't know how to say that nicely, ladies. But it is just the truth. When you take care of the way you look, when you take pride in being attractive, you take the time and put effort into your appearance, people notice that, and people tend to treat you better when you look better. So again, make sure, ladies, that you are putting in the effort to take care of yourself, eat healthy. And it shouldn't just be because of how other people treat you, but because of how it's going to make you feel. It's going to make you feel more confident. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to give you that glow, okay? The feminine is about what is within. So you want to make sure you are feminine within first, okay? And as far as the exercise, it's the same thing. When you exercise, it puts you in a better mood. It makes you more confident. It gives you more energy, and all of that helps you be more in your feminine. But if you are just sluggish and tired and you're just in a bad mood because your body just doesn't feel well, you're dehydrated because you're not getting enough water, all of that can just make you grumpy, and this makes you unpleasant to be around. And again, that can result in people mistreating you, and people mistreating you can result in you being angry and more mooding and having defense mechanisms and walls up and things like that. So that can cause you to be more in your masculine, which you don't want. So I'm not telling you that you need to be vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian. I'm just saying that you need to eat healthier. Try to eat more green leafy vegetables, eat way more fruits, drink way more water. Make sure you're getting that exercise. Your body is going to thank you for it, okay? And you will start to see how you are treated a little bit differently based on your physical appearance. Whether or not we like that or not, it is just reality. And the last one, ladies, number 10, and this is a tricky one, is when you are somewhat of an activist, okay? And you take on the world's problems and make them your own. Now, this is something that I have done a lot of. I used to be one of those women that would march down the street with a bullhorn and a sign, protesting, fussing, screaming, fighting, and whatever it is you're passionate about. I'm not saying that you should lose your passion. If you're passionate about your people, black people, that's me. If you're passionate about women's rights, whatever it is you're passionate about, you shouldn't lose that passion. However, our approach as women should be a little bit different than a man's approach to it. I'm so grateful that I found a man that let me know, listen, let me be out here being the angry warrior. You can make a difference by educating the youth. You can make a difference by being a good representation of a black woman and changing these negative stereotypes. You can make a difference by educating people on the importance of healthy relationships and the solid family structure. And so I have been able to, I'm still an activist. I'm still able to be passionate about the things that I'm passionate about, but I don't need to be screaming and marching in the street doing it. You know what I mean? I changed my approach, okay? So when you are an activist and whatever it is you're passionate about, and you cause yourself to be like in a warrior mentality, and you're angry all the time, and you're debating, and you're ready to fight over that which you care about, you're out in the street screaming, marching, you know, I'm not saying you should lose that passion, but I am saying, ladies, it can definitely cause you to be more in your masculine, okay? So maybe try to figure out a different approach. I think it is absolutely important that we educate the youth on whatever it is. You educate other women, that you be a good representation, you know, things like that. You don't want to go too far in your masculine to where, again, you're out there, you know, that doesn't help anything. All right, so that is it. Those are 10 things that you might be doing, ladies, that you had no idea was making you more masculine. Let me know if any of these things shocked you or surprised you in the comments. Okay, peace and much love, ladies.